No one coming close, bro.
Now, and imagine this coming the week before, and you Jack Harlow.
Man.
You, and this is, and this is the difference between when we're talking about.
Yeah, ass. Whack.
That's all I'm saying.
We've
Now,
been waiting for this.
what was cool is
we
that
needed this.
we needed that. What was cool is that you got to hear that for the first
First,
time.
bro, I got chills.
And
My
I'm
eyes
just
started
glad,
to water up for a
bro.
second.
Mine too. And I'm glad that people get to see this. When I first listened
Damn, bro.
to Pimp a Butterfly, the first time I heard it through, I cried. It was that good. Okay?
Yeah, he got me with the Kobe and Nip.
And this one, with the Kobe, with the Nip, with Will Smith,
OJ.
with OJ, with Jesse.
Yeah.
So ahead of the release of his long-awaited album, fifth studio album, Mr. Morel and the Big Steppers, Kendrick had released The Heart Part 5. All right, we just heard it for the first time here.
This nigga's so good, bro.
All right, so in the music video, it was directed by Dave Free and Kendrick. So as he's rapping directly into the camera, his face morphs into a lot of figures. O.J. Simpson, Will Smith, Jesse Smollett, Kanye West, Nipsey Hussle, and Kobe Bryant. A lot of figures for different reasons, most of them because of the controversy that they've been in. And it's really, really great because one of my favorite line at the end, because I had to cue up the lyrics. It was, "Celebrate me with respect, the unity we protect is above all, and Sam, I'll be watching over you. Make sure the kids watch all my interviews." He's talking to Black Sam, Nipsey's older brother. He handled most of his affairs after he passed, and he also made sure that after everything was settled, each of his kids will receive $2 million apiece. And y'all want me to listen to Jack Harlow album.
I'm stuck, bro.
Yeah,
I can't even.
and
like I'm thinking a lot right now.
It really does stump you. So the last installment that we heard of this series was back in 2017. There was a lot of things going on back in that year. Donald Trump had just been elected. We had the largest mass shootings of police to Black Americans in the history of this country. That same year, 2017, same year that he dropped Damn. Okay? Now, at this point, we're only a few days away from this brand new album. Last album that we got was Damn. He had the tracks like DNA, tracks like Fear, and it was a whole story on that album. You were able to play it backwards or forward, and you would still be able to get the same interpretation of the story, whichever direction that you played it as the listener. So it's hard to deny the genius that is Kendrick Lamar, especially watching this video and seeing it for the first time. And we're both in awe. That was my second time watching it, but my first time actually watching it all the way through without having to actually stop. So the first time getting to watch it through. Now, Kendrick Lamar, to me, undoubtedly has at least 3 classic albums under his belt. And we're going to see what happens with this project. I have, at first, one of my questions, I was going to come here and actually ask one of my questions, will this album be a classic? And now I feel like an idiot. Now I feel stupid. I can't even ask the question.
Name one time he hasn't delivered.
The last album that he made, it won a Pulitzer Prize.
Man. Who does that?
And it made us excited just to see where this man is going next. So, will this album be a classic? That was a question that I had, and to be honest, at this point, I feel like it would be disrespectful to even ask that question. I'm not gonna make any assumptions. I'm not gonna say what will or won't be. I'm just gonna listen, and I'm just gonna enjoy the music. That's really all I can do. I mean, what more do I want from an artist than to take their time?
Too good,
I was wondering bro, I was going to come in here and ask, it's been 5 years. Do you think that he still has it?
What do you think he's been doing for that 5?
I don't know. See, I was thinking because as in having the craft and an album and knowing what it takes, knowing that There's a lot of emotion that gets entailed into it. I know that you need to live a little bit in order to be able to really put together a brand new album that's going to be full of stories and emotions and things that you want to talk about. It takes
Bro, that
time,
one song got me fucked up. I'm
bro.
so
That it
serious.
do,
Like, you don't
bro.
understand, bro.
I see. I
I'm fucked
know.
up over here, man.
I was like, man, if we sit here, because if I sit here and ponder, I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
able to
Nah,
even
I'll go
finish
through it. They
this
need to
whole
see that.
episode.
Yeah, no, they can see it. They can go ahead. This shit, man.
Yeah. And I already know that. I think that Kendrick is very aware that he's a top tier artist and that he's gonna release what may be, another classic.
Yeah.
Another classic album. I do not think that this man would take all this time and would not produce. I was actually a little bit nervous because hearing the features that he did with Range Brothers
Yeah.
and hearing
You thought he was gonna
let's
move
get
away
this
from
shit,
what he
let's get this
usually
shit,
does.
let's
Yeah.
get this shit, let's get this shit, let's get top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the. I was like, yo, this sounds playful. It sounds like
Yeah.
he's having fun, but I was a little worried. Like, well, I mean, after 5 years, I hope that's not what we're going to get. Now I feel like an ass for even thinking something like that, especially after listening to that all the way through and seeing what he did with the visuals. I think that they call that deep fake. And that's what he was doing with the. It was a similar thing on Lil Wayne's Big Worm,
Yeah.
where he was going through all the phases of Lil Wayne, like when he was like young, when like the block is hot. Then you
Yeah.
had like the Carter Wayne. Then you had like the Carter 3 Wayne, all the way up to the Wayne that we currently see. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's very similar with the deep fake for the for the face, but this one was, I think, even cleaner. It was like super nice. It didn't look it looked so like some of the faces. Like when I saw Kobe, I saw Kobe. When I saw Will, I saw Will.
Bro.
It was
For all of them.
it was phenomenal. So, even though I don't want to have any expectations of this album, I can't help but look at the title, and we didn't get to touch on if it was going to be like a double disc. I saw the picture
Yeah.
on the PG Lane, not PG Lane, but the
Oklahoma, yeah.
website. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, cool. It's been a long time, so he probably has a maybe it will be a double disc, a 2-album project. But when I started thinking, I'm thinking, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, what does that actually mean? And I'm expecting social commentary, especially from what we just heard. Colloquially, depending on where you are, but steppers usually is a term for shooters. So when I'm thinking about Mr. Moral and thinking about morals and the Big Steppers, what I have in mind is that it's going to be some type of interpretation of like Good Kid, Mad City. It has that same paradox. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, Good Kid, Mad City. I can see that. Like I can see him playing off of that. I don't know. It seems like it might end up being like a divergence of another concept album. Like it's gonna be another branch on this tree that he's made when it comes to conceptual work, whether it be Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, even some of the God, I'm still stuck on it, bro. I'm trying to I'm trying to keep talking, but as I'm talking, I'm thinking about some of the things that he was saying. I'm like, ooh, that was really, really good.
Yeah.
I gotta go back to see.
I'm gonna listen to it at least 10 times before
right.
the night's over with.
And I'm kind of upset because if I would have, it really came out like when I was just getting together topics.
So like an hour ago?
And it was like maybe 4 hours ago that
4 hours?
it had released. And I wanted to really like break down some of those lyrics, but I didn't have time. Like after I did some topics and then I had to cook and then do some other things. So I didn't have as much time with it as I wanted, but please believe, well, honestly, I may not, because by the time this drops, the album's already going to be out. So when the album's out, I'm going to have a much more in-depth breakdown of those lyrics, because I really like to like dig deep. I really like that Black Sam line. It was a very on the surface line, but very meaningful, knowing what he's doing for his children and what happened, especially with him talking from the perspective of Nipsey Hussle, looking at his face, speaking to the person who actually killed him, knowing that,
forgiving him.
Exactly.
But now you got to deal with it. Your soul has to deal with it once.
And that's another good thing, because what people don't understand is when you die, depending what you believe in, but I believe in a God and I believe in a heaven.
Yeah.
So when you die, the person who got killed, they're already gone. They're off to a better place. They don't have to worry about what people are saying about them or what's going on or worldly desires. You're going to have to still be there and deal with what's going on down here. He's good. He's resting now. He's good. He's in paradise. You're still here. So, I mean, of course, knowing that a lot of stuff that we do is focused on revenge and spinning a block and getting your ops, and it's a lot of stuff that y'all be talking that y'all don't really mean.
Negativity.
Right,
they don't even know what follows that. It's just all talk.
Yeah, y'all don't. But knowing someone like Nipsey, knowing how he was, I feel like he would give people grace, and I think that everything that he was saying in those bars would have been the same type of like rhetoric that Nipsey Hussle himself would have been trying to spread, not for just himself, but also for his children to go back and watch his interviews, break down my lyrics, understand what I was trying to do, take that and run with it. It's a lot. It gets heavy. When I saw Kobe, it gets heavy. I saw Jesse, it gets heavy.
Nah, the Kobe,
Yeah, it gets real heavy.
Cried for like 3 months when I found that out.
Yeah.
Straight.
So, I mean, we're a loss of words, but then again, this is what I look at when we're talking about.
These people are immortalized.
Yeah, like a highly anticipated album, and we're talking about, again, Jack Harlow being a top 5 artist. Then when real niggas come, it's different.
I don't even want to say like real or real niggas.
You when I say that, you know how I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What I'm saying is when authenticity comes.
There you go.
Everything that's fake, it's like light gets shed on it and you can see right through it. It becomes transparent. You see right through it.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have people like this out here doing good work. And then it has you thinking about what's really important, and it has you thinking about what really is music and what it does for people, what it does for their soul, and just what it does to actually heal, So I didn't even mean to get that deep. We already 40 minutes in, and it did so much. But that
was the song, man.
Bro,
that's the song that did it.
Yeah, and that's the kind of energy.
Visual, the song itself, the words had like certain weight to them, but the visual to go with it, like that message is crazy. And I keep thinking about it, and it keeps choking me up for a second. Like, that shit's man.
And then again, once we actually get to break down those lyrics and really dig in them, it's gonna probably be even more to uncover. And that's bro. To be honest, I wanted to dig a little bit deeper too, but I felt like crying as well, and it kind of got me choked up a little bit. I'm holding it back too. Yeah,
I can see your eyes.
I'm holding it back. But that's what happens.
Carry on.
And this is
that's
why
music right there, though.
I get so mad.
That's for the soul right there.
I get so mad at these kids, but then again, I want to give them some grace
because they don't know any better. Ignorance is bliss.
They really
so Kendrick
don't know.
Said.
Oh boy! All right, we gotta change topics, bro. We gotta change. We gotta change.
Get upbeat.
Okay,
We're gonna make it all sad. You should have saved that for last.